Good morning, my friends, or whatever time of day it is for you. I'm Annalisa, and I'm joining you from this little enchanted forest here near my home, along the banks of the Bow River. Just taking a few moments to savor the stillness of this moment, and I invite you, wherever you are, to grace yourself with about 15 minutes of stillness. I'm going to take my spiritual pulse, and perhaps it's time for you to do the same. Just going to walk over to a little spot here where I can set up. I invite you to get yourself cozy wherever you are. Perhaps you're able to step outside. If not, it doesn't matter. You're here. In the background, you'll see what I like to call the bridge of unconditional love. Today is an extra special day, moment for me, because, you know, there are many times in our lives when we're in between. We're crossing a bridge we're not sure to where. And that's how it's been for quite a period of time for me, kind of in between. And one of the ways that I helped myself to stay connected in here when there was a lot of uncertainty out there was through these practices like taking my spiritual pulse. And so today, I'm getting some clarity in my life, and the seeds that were planted through setting intentions during practices like this are blossoming. You just never know. And so I invite you to find stillness now. Put down whatever you're carrying. Thoughts, fears, worries, to-do lists, and settle into this moment of now. I'll be using one of my favorite companions, the work of Nepo and his book of Awakening, to guide our practice together. So as you're settling into this moment, take a few deep breaths. Be aware of any sights, sounds, sensations in the world around you, and notice them. Just notice them. And really releasing, settling into this space, this sanctuary that you have created, starting from the tip of your head, traveling through your body, neck, shoulders, torso, legs, feet, grounding into this moment of now. And my intention for our time together is that you will awaken to that beautiful voice within you. That you may ask with curiosity and compassion, what is life telling me now? Perhaps this passage will feed your curiosity or bring up a question of thought and inquiry. I invite you to ask, again with non-judgment, what is the message? So that you can take inspired action, however that looks in your life. And that may be just by continuing to sit in quiet reflection or walk or journal, or perhaps it's making a phone call that's been on your heart. Whatever that is, awaken, ask, act. And I invite you, if you have an intention for your practice today, I invite you to set that. Because even by putting out intentions, you're planting, not only planting the seeds, but cultivating them. You just never know when they may blossom. So the passage is called In Our Own Element. A fish cannot drown in water. A bird does not fall in the air. Each creature God made must live in its own true nature. Somewhere in the Middle Ages, in a remote part of Germany, this introspective seer came upon the wisdom that living in our own natural element is the surest way to know the inner prosperity of health, peace, and joy. Her examples are striking. All we have to do is put the fish in air and the bird in water to see the dangers of being what we are not. Of course, it's very clear and obvious for both the fish and the bird where they belong. Not so for us humans. Part of the blessing and challenge of being human is that we must discover our own true God-given nature. This is not some noble, abstract quest, but an inner necessity. For only by living in our own element can we thrive without anxiety. And since human beings are the only life form that can drown and still go to work, the only species that can fall from the sky and still fold laundry, it is imperative that we find that vital element that brings us alive. I vividly recall my struggles as a teenager when my mother wanted me to be a lawyer and my father wanted me to be an architect. Somehow I knew I needed to be a poet. Something in it brought me alive. The only one to understand was my boyhood friend Vic, who in the midst of qualifying strongly for pre-med studies, realized he needed to be a florist. For something in working with flowers brought him alive. This is not about being a poet or a florist or an architect. It is about the true vitality that waits beneath all occupations for us to tap into if we can discover what we love. If you feel energy and excitement and a sense that life is happening for the first time, you are probably near your God-given nature. Joy is not what we do. It is not an added feature. it is a sign of deep health. Joy is not an added feature. It is a sign of deep health. And so, as you continue to breathe, your beautiful breath anchoring you to this present moment, feel whatever sensations are arising in your body. I invite you to sit quietly and inhale your God-given nature. Feeling the spaciousness that you are creating simply with your breath. It is as near to you as air is to a bird. And as you continue to inhale, exhale, meditate on what you must be involved in to feel your own true nature. Regardless of the job you're in, the work you're in, the responsibilities you hold, how can you be more completely who you are in a daily way? And I invite you, my friends, as you move throughout your day, involve yourself in one gesture, one act of vitality that puts you in touch with your true nature. It could be as simple as stepping outside, touching a tree, sitting beneath a tree. Whatever that act is for you, however that looks. And I leave you with this thought. A fish cannot drown in water. A bird does not fall in air. Each creature God made must live in its own true nature. And so as you transition to the rest of your day, just feel into the space that surrounds you, carrying with you what you've created, simply by taking your spiritual pulse. And thank you so much for joining me. Many blessings. Until next time.